Hey Carnivore fans, welcome back. Now it's just me this week because unfortunately Walter couldn't make it.
Miles, you told me to meet you on the valley side.
No Walter, I told you the ocean side.
That's not what your voicemail message says yesterday.
Hey Walter, it's Miles. Hey, change your plans for tomorrow. Let's meet on the valley side, okay? Alright, thanks, bye.
Well, didn't you get my text? Because I definitely changed it to the ocean side.
No, you told me you were going to be reviewing a dreaded smart car.
Walter, you know what? I just remembered I gotta go. I think I left my laundry in the oven or something.
You're reviewing an Audi A4 2017.
Yeah, alright, fine, get in, just be quiet. So, I have to tell you, my first impressions of this car, it's actually pretty quick. I'm kind of surprised. We're going up a relatively steep canyon hill here, and it's got quite a bit of power. I put my foot down, it really pulls, and it sounds pretty good as well. The exhaust is kind of throaty. It's not a sports car at all, but it definitely has some performance to it. For an Audi sedan, I'm pretty impressed. You know, my impressions of the interior as well, it's pretty comfortable. You know, the seats are firm. They're not the most comfortable seats ever, but they're pretty supportive, and I like how everything's laid out. What do you think about being in the passenger seat?
The seats are okay. They don't feel really great. They don't feel like sports seats. They almost kind of feel like the Jaguar XF seats to me. They're not as comfortable, I would say, as the Jaguar seats. The dashboard, I think, is nice quality. The interior is just really well laid out. It just looks really sharp, you know. It doesn't look sloppy or misplaced. It looks like Audi spent a lot of time putting everything in the right place.
I think that's something the Germans do really well, is they can really lay out an interior. And like I said earlier, you know, there's nothing flashy about this. It feels well thought out, and it feels, you know, like an enjoyable car to drive.
I like this aluminum trim here, and the buttons for the air conditioning are touch sensitive. Those are kind of nice buttons, and I really like the easy knobs to control the temperature for each side.
Like this screen that we have here, that we can control everything from this dial. This gear selector is a little weird though, I will say. It's you have to go up and down almost like a video game. It's unlike a traditional automatic selector. I also say that I think this is a really light and airy cockpit. There's a lot of light, visibility's pretty good. All right, Walter, well, why don't we pull over up here and we can switch drivers and you can get a sense of what it's like to drive.
It's a nice car. The four-cylinder engine just doesn't sound very impressive, but I have to say that if it's this or a Toyota Camry, I would obviously choose Audi A4. I think overall it's a good car. You know, it's just a little bit plain.
I think you kind of hit the nail on the head there. I think when I was driving it, you know, I enjoyed it. Like I said, it had some good performance. The quality of the interior is nice, but there's nothing special about it, and there was nothing really that made me fall in love with it.
Here are the gauges in our Audi A4 Premium that we're driving. Nothing special, just standard gauges like you'd see in any other car. One of the most impressive features in the Audi lineup, though, is a virtual cockpit. The virtual cockpit that you're seeing now allows you to set navigation as well as operate the features and functions of the vehicle. This is only available in the Premium Plus and the Prestige lines. Finally added to the Audi lineup is the Android Auto and the Apple CarPlay. Trunk space is adequate with a 40-20-40 rear seat split.
So Walter, let's talk about the design of this car. Now I have a feeling this is something we might disagree on. I actually like it. I think it is kind of simple, but there's a lot of clean lines, and I like what they've done. There's no kind of fussy extra features for the sake of it.
I think the car styling is boring, and I think it's also cross-pollinating with the Volkswagen group. But when I kind of did some comparisons of Audis and Volkswagens, I didn't really find a lot of design cues that were overlapping each other, so I'm not sure where I got that impression from.
Well, I don't think you're that far off, because obviously Audi is owned by Volkswagen Group, and I think they position Audi as a more premium luxurious brand compared to Volkswagen, and there are definitely some aspects of this car that look a little similar to a Jetta or a Passat, so I don't think you're that far off. But for me personally, I don't think it's just a premium Volkswagen. I think it has a kind of styling identity of its own, which I personally like.
Let's talk about some of the design cues that I do like about the car. I really like the crease along the whole length of the car. I think it looks really nice.
And I really like these door handles as well. They actually open up and out, which is kind of an interesting feature. And also, they have this soft touch button here, which allows you to close the door without using the key, which is really nice.
And then the other nice feature about the car that I like are the turn signal goes from inside to the outside of the car. So I think that's pretty cool too.
And at the front, Walter, I really love this grille. It's really big, and I like the chrome nature of it. I think Audi are doing some really interesting things with the front grille of the car. But it's interesting because although the car at the front has a lot of angular straight lines, there are actually quite a few curves to it too. If you look at the back of the car, the back actually curves around as well. It's not all straight lines. There are some curves too. So car manufacturers perform a battery of tests on their new cars, things like crash testing, water intrusion testing, but we here at Carnivore have our own test, and it's called the blind person test. Now they say that when you lose one of your senses, your other senses become heightened to compensate, and that got us thinking, what would a blind person think of the design of this car?
I can't see anything, Miles.
Okay, great. So Walter, what you're saying is you have no issues with the design of this car?
None.
Excellent. Walter, why don't you hop in the front seat for a minute?
You want me to drive?
No, you idiot. I just want you to talk about the interior.
Miles, what did you have for breakfast? So the car feels very luxurious.
All right, thanks for that, Walter. Why don't you hop out and get in the back seat and give us your impressions of the rear legroom. Careful.
Ow, Miles!
Oh, sorry, Walter.
So I don't have a lot of headroom in here. On top of the bump that I incurred from hitting the top of the door, my head is actually hitting the roof line, and then I don't really have a lot of knee room here either. My knees are kind of hitting the back seat. So for a tall person, the back seat is obviously not ideal.
Okay, Walter, so let's talk about the cost of this car. So base model starts around $37,000, but it can go all the way up to 58 grand with all the bells and whistles of the Prestige line. And it's pretty easy to get there because once you start adding options, you can add 5 figures to the cost of the car before you even know it. MPG for this car, about 25 city, 31 highway, so pretty standard for a car like this. Let's talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. So first of all, the good. It's a nice car to drive. It's very smooth, good on the highway, nice power for overtaking, a smooth ride. I think the interior is also very nice, lots of high quality materials, it feels very solid. And although you and I, Walter, disagree slightly about the exterior design, I think overall you could say it's not a bad looking car, and I think your friends are definitely going to be impressed when you pull up in it. What about the bad and the ugly?
I would agree with you, Miles. The bad, I would have to say that there's a little bit of a turbo lag when you mash your foot on the gas. And then this car also is front wheel drive. It also comes in a Quattro. I would recommend the Quattro if you're considering the A4. Now for the ugly. Audi's reliability isn't on par with its quality, interior and design. And it's 4-year, 50,000 mile warranty. I think you're going to be putting some money into the car after that warranty runs out. So my recommendation would be to either hold the car for 3 or 4 years until the warranty expires, or just outright lease it.
So it's been a lot of fun to drive the Audi A4. That about wraps it up. Thanks again for watching. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to see plenty more. We'll be back soon with more car reviews. So from both of us until then, thanks for watching.
Take care.